What is up, my code ninjas? Biggity back again for the win. It's your boy Dean, and I'm back here with another Code Wars exercise called Ping Pong, and it is going to be done in Java. The language is Java today, and I like this one. This was one that I actually did for the first time yesterday when I was on a live stream with a couple of people. I did like a 3+ hour stream, and this is one of the ones I found, and we did this one, and the two guys that I did this with actually finished it before I did. I didn't finish it until after the stream was over, actually, because I had some problems, but this is a good exercise, and it's pretty thick, so we're gonna go ahead and dive in so I can get this video done and recorded. It is it's called Ping Pong, and it's got a hell of a backstory, so there's some shit to wade through, basically, so bear with me, but the backstory is kind of necessary, and my chair just popped, so hopefully it's not broken. But the folly of Mr. Pong. Let's dive in here. While Mrs. Pong's away visiting her sister, Mr. Pong has foolishly set up a ping pong table in his lounge room and invites his neighbor, Mr. Ping, for a friendly ping pong session. So it's going to be two guys playing ping pong, Mr. Pong and Mr. Ping. And those names are important. When Mr. Ping hits the ball, the ping pong ball makes the sound of ping. When Mr. Pong hits the ball, the ball makes the sound pong. So ping and pong are going to be kind of prominent in this thing. Unfortunately, not every hit goes where it was meant to. Sometimes the ping pong ball hits the net, bounces off a wall, or ricochets off Mrs. Pong's rather expensive porcelain collection. Light fitting, blah 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 blah. So sometimes when they hit the ball, it goes elsewhere, and it's not able to be hit by the next man across the table. And when that happens, there's going to be a bad noise. That's what you need to know here. And I realize that I think I need to increase the text size here. Make sure you guys can read the joint. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, so we have the sounds of ping, the sounds of pong, and then if there's a bad hit, it makes a different sound. Those are the takeaways so far. And here's getting down to brass tacks. Here's an example of a rally. Still haven't really been told what you need to do, but that is the case with these exercises that have these long stories. Kind of sucks because you got to read this long thing and then kind of figure out where you need to come in. So we're still getting to that stuff. A typical rally in the playing of ping pong may sound like this, and really, coding wise, this is how your argument is going to look. It's going to be actually a string in this form. That's going to be your input to your function. Actually, in Java, your method. So we have ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, blah blah blah, and then we have dong, tang, bing, these other things, and these are all like other sounds. Notice we have ping pong and we have other sounds. So really, the kinds of input you're going to get, this is going to be the format, and the words you're going to get are going to be either ping or pong or something else. And so that you got to do some differentiation there, and I'll tell you more as we move forward. And then some things about this one, this rally. Mr. Ping served, meaning he was first, and you see ping pong. They're like hitting the ball back and forth until Pong basically fucks up and hits the ball at the table, and it goes all kinds of places. There were several good returns. Yeah, so it went back and forth a few times, And then Mr. Pong, as you can see here, hits a bad shot, which broke the handle off of blah, blah, blah. It went all over the damn place. Oops. So those are some things about the typical input. Still haven't been told what you need to do. We're getting to that. Caught a task. Who scored the most points? Now, how the hell do you determine who scored the most points? That's coming. Scroll down a little bit. The input is going to be the sound of one or more rallies. Really, a string in this form is what your input's going to be. The output, really what you're going to produce, is the name of the winning player, Ping or Pong. So one of these guys will win the game. You have to determine it from this this formatted string here. And these notes are really, these are rules that you're going to use to determine who is the winner. And these got to be paid attention to as you code, because well, it really covers who wins the game and the constraints that you're going to set up in your code. To score a point, the same player must both serve and win the rally. So here's a bit on scoring a point. Well, they haven't really been told like what would win the rally, like so other than serving and winning. But I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here and tell you that the player who hits the bad shot is the loser of the rally. So up here you see Mr. Pong, he hits the bad shot. He's lost the rally, but it's not a guaranteed point for the other guy, Mr. Ping, because that first rule says a player must serve and win the rally to get a point. Now here, Mr. Pong has lost the rally by hitting it off the table, but a point is not actually scored for Ping until we determine if Ping was the server of this particular rally. And a rally starts with either Ping or Pong. So we go back to the beginning of the rally, we see that Ping actually, he is the server. So I'll put a big S there. He's the server and Pong lost. So that is a score. And you would do like a +1 for Mr. Ping. That's how the scoring works generally. There's going to be some other rules. Whoever picks the ball off the floor is going to serve next. It's random. So after some of the bad sounds happen, either Ping or Pong would start the next rally. And so the first Ping or Pong is the server. That's important information. The first Ping or Pong is the server. Like if you're looking at this example up here, on this rally, Ping is the server because he's the first. If it was to start back up again, like after this donk, there was a Ping or a Pong, whoever that was would be the server of the next rally. And that's random. That's what that point says. A bad noise is anything other than Ping or Pong. Like anything else is not part of a rally, and it's the end of a rally because it's been hit off the table. A bad noise means whoever hit the ball last hit a bad shot. And that's important because to know who hit the bad shot, you got to look one previous to the bad shot. Then we go up again. Dong is the first bad shot. No jokes here. But the previous is Pong, so Pong hit the bad shot. Alright. For some unknown reason, all noises are 4 lowercase characters delimited by whatever. The 4 lowercase characters don't matter. It's the limited by the dash which matters, because you can take this string and split it by the dash. So that is important. If the scores are even, then the winner is the player who did not hit the final bad shot. So if we're totaling up and we get an even score at the end, we look at the last bad shot, and the player is the one who did not hit that. No double hits, meaning you're not going to have ping, 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 pong in a row. That's an important consideration. The final rally always ends with the ball on the floor. So I interpret that to mean that the last string is going to be a bad hit. It's not going to be ping or pong, I think. All input is valid, meaning no weird stuff, and you don't have to check for poorly formatted strings or other data types or whatever. So that's good, because there's enough to look at in this damn exercise. It's a good exercise, but there's a lot to account for. All right, because of how much is going on here and how much code has to be written, I'm just going to show you the completed code instead of typing it out like I usually do, because we'll be here all night. So here's the completed code. I think I'm gonna pump it up a little bit just so it can be seen. And yeah, the language is Java, so got a class, and here's the method. And sounds is going to be that formatted string. Sounds is going to be the string, in the format of this right here. That's going to be sounds. So it's going to be a string in that format. And what I do right away is I take it and split it, because I'm going to split it to get each string isolated, so that I can parse it and say, oh, this is a ping, this is a pong, this is something else. So I split it, and then I create variables, integer variables for ping and pong. These are going to be the scores for each dude. I make them both 0. Fancy technique there, I'm sure everybody knows that, but I like to do that sometimes. If I'm going to set 2 variables to the same value, you can just do it on one line like that in Java. Probably in C and C++ as well. Line 7, I create a string for to hold the server, the current server, because to determine if a point has been scored, we need to know who the server is of the current rally. Then on line 8, I create a boolean in rally and make it true. This is an important variable because it is going to hold the state of the rally. It's really going to say, are we in a current back and forth rally or not? That's important, because if we're in a rally and it ends, we can see who the server was, and when a rally begins, we can set in rally to be true and set the server for the first ping or pong. So in rally is an important thing. It says, are we in a back and forth, or are we in a series of bad shots or whatever? Not whatever, but you know what I mean. Then we start a loop where I'm going to loop through the entire string array of all the shots. Then I got an if statement here where, and it spans until line 20. It's going to say, if the current shot is not ping and it's not pong, meaning this is a bad shot. If it's a bad shot, then I'm going to determine if there's a score. Because if there's a bad shot, there's a possibility of the last person that hit that bad shot resulted in a score. And what I'm going to do is, I'm gonna look one before the previous to determine if the one previous to the bad shot is a ping or a pong. And actually, I'm thinking this should actually be should that be an or equals ping or pong? I'm not sure why this worked, but I'm kind of reevaluating my own code because it only needs to be a ping or a pong. Because here if it's not, and the previous one is equals ping. Oh, hey, I messed myself up. I didn't look at the precursor here, or the before the dot. All right, reset here. What I'm determining here is if the previous hit or hitter is ping specifically, and the server is pong, then it's pong plus plus. This determines a point for pong. So if ping hit a bad shot and then pong was the server, pong plus plus, meaning pong gets a point because he served and ping hit the bad shot. And then the else if is for the other condition, where if pong hits the bad shot and ping is the server, ping gets the point. And this would be the getting of the bad shot. So, and really this would be the first bad shot. So in rally it would be false because a rally is over because a bad shot has been hit up here. Moving on. So you got an if here, you have an else, and this else is this else would be if there's a bad shot. Oh, sorry, the if would be if there's a bad shot. Getting confused here. The else is if there's a good shot. If it is ping or pong. And then you go down further, and if the current hit is ping or pong and you're not in a rally, then you're starting a new rally, and the server is whoever this is, and in rally becomes true. So this else is really, this is the beginner of a rally potentially, because if it's ping or pong and you're not currently in a rally, then the current string is the server and in rally becomes true. Yep. And so this spans the for loop, and the for loop is going to do the scoring basically. And then once you're done with the for loop, you determine who won. So then it's if their scores are the same, pings and pong scores are the same, you've got to do that thing where you've got to see who hit the last bad shot. And the last bad shot is going to be really the last ping or pong in the string. Let's go back here to the example, and we see like the last bad shot here would be pong because it's the last one. So pong would be the last one if this was tied. Ping would be the winner, kind of in a nutshell, but there's some other considerations. So to determine who that last one is, I'm going to loop backwards, starting at the end and going to the beginning. And then once I get to one that's either ping or pong, I'm going to say if the last one's ping, pong wins. If the last one's pong, ping wins. Right, how many times did I say ping and pong throughout this whole explanation here? So that determines the winner. If it's tied, pong or ping. And see, I'm returning because here you're going to return the string ping or pong. All right, scrolling down here, and this is really the end. So if they're even, I've determined the winner. If Ping is greater than Pong, you return Ping because Ping has more points. And the only other possibility is Pong. That's why I didn't do an else, because I've taken care of equal to. Here's one greater than the other, and this is the only other possibility. And now I've got them all here and all done. And that's the code, folks. And let me just demonstrate, select all, copy, and I'm going to put this into the grinder real quick, and we'll make sure that this is a valid solution. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I think I screwed that up a little bit. All right, yeah, let's throw it in there. Hit the grinder. Out there. Out there, dope, outstanding. So that is your solution to ping pong. And I'll show the code once again, just kind of scroll up and down through it. There's your code. My scroll bar isn't working right now for some weird reason, but there's your solution. Java, Codewars. That's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Gotta go pick up my son from school. See ya.